You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, here as usual after every Marlins game, bringing you the reactions and everything that happened in the game. I don't know why it's so dark today. This is just weird. I don't understand. Here we go. Let's get a little bit more. No, same lights, same setup, same everything, and it's literally it'll adjust. I have to believe it'll adjust. We have to keep our fingers crossed that it will adjust, and it will. The light will adjust throughout the show. Very strange, but Hot Reds rip Max Meyer, and the Marlins fall again 8-3 to the Cincinnati Reds. It's your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Want to thank you, as always, for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts. I'm part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which, of course, means your team every day. And today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. As playoffs wind down, the sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And Elly De La Cruz got started the second he got to town. Boy, oh boy, this dude is killing your Miami Marlins right now. I mean, it's been 10-3 and 8-2 these last two games, and he has been in the middle of all this. I mean, this dude starts off the series yesterday. Elly De La Cruz, 2-run homer in the first inning, 2-homer game yesterday. Flexes the power yesterday. Today, he's going corner to corner, yard to yard, base to base. He had an unbelievable game again. A double in the gap, a stolen base, his leading 58th. 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 4 hits. I mean, this dude just killing the Miami Marlins. And then Stephenson had a big game too. Another big game for Stephenson against Miami. Tyler Stephenson. The Reds only hit 1 home run today. That's a switch. That's a switch for Cincinnati to only hit 1 home run against Miami. But here we are, and the Marlins, just another miserable performance, and it was tough for them all the way across the board again. And I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm so dark here. This is weird. Same lights, same setup. Everything is just perfect, and it's a little dark. I'm going to I don't know if you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and I'll adjust it after if I can, but I don't think it's too bad. Besides, you don't want to see too much of the face, do you? You don't want to see too much of the face. The Reds in this one, they got 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the eighth. It just was distributed throughout. The Marlins got their 2 in the fourth. Xavier Edwards, 2 hits for them. Jonah Bride, an offer and a couple of walks in the 3 spot. Berger, another offer. Lopez, an offer. Sanchez, an offer. Yeah, it was one of those days. Derek Hill with a 2-run single for Miami, but they only had 4 hits on the day, and that was because the Reds got some good pitching today from Nick Lodolo. And the 6'6", look, he's a good pitcher. He's 9-4, and he's 6'6", and just out there dealing, 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned 3 walks, and the Reds end up with the 8-2 win, and they scored 10 yesterday, so... And, 18 runs in 2 games, 18-5. You're coming. You hadn't lost a series yet. You just took 2 in a row from the Braves. What in the world happened? I mean, Munoz and Meyer were all right. What in the world? The Reds just must have come in super hot, and the Marlins not looking good at all. And that's just a shame. The pitching's just not happening. I'm going to try one thing, guys, with the lights, and I will be right back. Bear with me for a second. All right, maybe a little bit of a help there. Sorry, guys. Just wanted to try to get a little bit, let there be light, shed some light on the situation. But look at the Marlins. They're not shedding any light on anything for you guys right now. I mean, 8-2 they lose. And, they like I said, the Mets, the Brewers, the Orioles, the Braves, they had just not lost a series. And now they're down 0-2. They can still come back and split the series. Bellozo pitching tomorrow, Valente. But the Reds are raking right now, man. The Marlins had 1 extra base hit today. The Reds, man, De La Cruz with 2 doubles today. 2 doubles. I should have put that in the description. I mean, why not? I mean, just more superlatives. 2 runs scored. How about 2 doubles? How about that for De La Cruz? 2 doubles. 2 doubles. I think you're supposed to spell it out, right? Yeah, you're supposed to spell it out. Come on, Jim. You're a journalist. Spell it out. So, Elly De La Cruz. I mean, just think about this. We're in awe right here. I'm looking at the screen, at the numbers as I type them. And I'm like, what? 4 for 5, okay? 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, 58th stolen base of the season. He stole third when Meyer wasn't looking. He just literally walked it down. He forced another error in the field because they knew they had to make a throw to get him. Just unbelievable. And then you look at what he did yesterday. The 2 homers yesterday, the 2 doubles tonight. I mean, what's he in the series so far? He's just killing the Marlins. Just unbelievable what he's doing. Elly De La Cruz. 4 for 5. What is he? 8 for 10. 8 for 10 with 5 runs, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. In 2 games, man. He's got 2 more games. And that's like a month for some people. 2 doubles, 2 homers. 3 doubles, 2 homers. 4 extra base hits last night. Did he have 4 extra base hits last night? I got to look at this again. I mean, the superlatives. I'm running out for this guy. I am running out for this guy. 4 for 5. Yeah, how many doubles last night? This is absurd. This is so much fun. This guy. He's going to be hitting 300 before long. He's red hot right now. Red hot. Yeah, 4 for 5, 3 RBIs, 3 runs, 2 home runs, and 2 doubles. So he's got 2 homers, 4 doubles, all right? 2 homers, 4 doubles, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored, and a stolen base in this year. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is like best player in baseball type stuff. These are best player in baseball type numbers. He is the best player in baseball in that moment when he's putting up numbers like that. I defy you to come up with someone else who is. He absolutely is killing it right now. Elly De La Cruz. 8 for 10. And this is like the real commitment to do a postcast every night for the Marlins. It's just tough. It's just tough day in and day out. But you know what? Hey, Miami is getting better. And these last couple of games have not reflected that. So hopefully they can get it going again tomorrow. You're watching Locked On Marlins Postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. 8-2 the final tonight. 10 runs yesterday. Cincinnati just beating up on Miami. When we come back on the other side, there's not a whole lot more we can say about the Reds, but we will with Stephenson and De La Cruz. Historically speaking, what is Elly De La Cruz doing right now? We'll talk about it next. Locked On Marlins Postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. All right, I'm talking to all my skilled tradesmen and women out there. You know what it is. Get to your supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades. That's right, supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Master Trade program. Every trade master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Thank you again for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen today. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. That's right. Host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully, is here for you every day to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it covered every day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, 8-2 the final again. Elly De La Cruz, historic hitting. I mean, you see that there. 2 games, and I'm going to say this again, okay? Just stay with me. I'm going to go slow on this, okay? 2 games against the Marlins in this series for Elly De La Cruz, the Reds' all-world shortstop. In 2 games, he's 8 for 10. In 2 games, he has 2 home runs, both tonight. In 2 games, he has 4 doubles, 2 in each game. In 2 games, he has 5 RBIs, 3 last night, 2 tonight, and 5 runs scored, 3 tonight, 2 tonight, plus his league-leading 58th stolen base tonight. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Elly De La Cruz is historic right now. I'm going to peek at this again real quick. It's unbelievable. I mean, 304 in 121 games, 47 stolen bases, 86 RBIs, in a shortened year. And he is just absolutely killing it right now. I mean, he's hit a home run out of the park and in the park in the same game. It's just been a great, great run for Elly De La Cruz. It's been a great run for him. I mean, Elly De La Cruz is as good as anybody in baseball right now. All I'm doing is just nonstop Googling, is Elly De La Cruz the best player in baseball? I know he's the most exciting. He is definitely the most exciting. He's declared himself that, and he's proven it. He has proven it. What a night last night, and what a night tonight. Wow, oh wow. Elly De La Cruz, just one of the better players in Major League Baseball right now. From top to bottom, the Cincinnati Reds team, and it's funny, I told you yesterday about the Locked On Reds guys. They were talking about they have no power on this team. They were talking about how they really need a cleanup hitter. They were talking all about that yesterday. And it's funny because they've just mashed the Marlins all year long. So we have a hard time. We have a really hard time with this. And, guys, I'm sorry. I think I'm okay here, though. We all right? Yeah. For some reason, it's dark. I don't know why it's a little dark tonight. We're using the same lights. Maybe it's not dark on your end. Maybe it's just my screen and my monitor. But I think it's okay. I feel like it's all right. It's dark for the Marlins fans right now with Elly De La Cruz and Munoz and Meyer back-to-back. And here's the thing that should be a little alarming with Munoz and Meyer getting ripped like this. Munoz was coming off his best outings of the season, and they tagged him last night. Okay, and then Meyer gave up a couple, like the big inning against the Braves. He had a career-high 7 strikeouts last time out, had the 2-out thing his last start with the walk and the hit. I'm just going off memory, and the home run that he gave up, all with 2 outs in like the 4th inning. Otherwise, it'd been all right. It was his highest pitch count of the season, throwing a lot of pitches. They're being careful with him in the 90s, but he could do nothing tonight. I'm convinced that there's no one that could pitch to Elly De La Cruz right now. Dude, Meyer, he looked pretty good early, but even De La Cruz singled in the 1st inning when the Reds were just going in order. And, Meyer's got the 93 on the 4-seamer, 92 on the sinker, the slider, 85 to 89. And, that's filth right there. That's great stuff. But the Reds were locked in and locked on, as I like to say, on that. But when I think about De La Cruz and his performance tonight, and you think about some of the players that he compares to in the history of the game, Ricky Henderson, maybe, is a good comparison, but Ricky was but he's got 58 steals. Ricky was 100 a year guaranteed, more than 100, way more. So not the base stealer that Ricky Henderson was, but no one's ever been the base stealer that Ricky Henderson was. He's got the pop that Ricky had. He hits for average like Ricky did, like 280, 270, 290. Ricky wasn't much of a 300 hitter throughout his career, but I think Elly De La Cruz could be that type of player. I think he could be that type of player, but he's better than Kenny Lofton in my mind. Right? Kenny Lofton was a borderline type of dude. So I don't know. It's hard to say he's better than Kenny Lofton yet, but we will find out, won't we? We will find out. Stephenson crushed that homer. Noelvi Marte, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Jeimer Candelerio added 2 hits for the Reds. Max Meyer, 8 hits, 6 runs in 4 innings. Nick Lodolo pitching well to get the win for Cincinnati. 6 innings, 2 runs on just 2 hits. Derek Hill, 2 runs on a 2-run single. 2 RBIs for Miami. That was a good one. And like I said, Bellozo and Abbott going to wrap it up tomorrow in Miami at Lone Depot Park. There we go. All right, that's a little better with the lighting, I think. Not bad. The yellow shirt, too, takes a lot of the light away from the face, but I think we're all right there. But literally talking about the Reds going through that lineup the way that they have, and just there's not an easy out in that lineup for the Marlins. And against everybody else, it's a little different for Cincinnati. It's a little different for these Reds because you think about what they've been doing lately, and you look at their schedule. You know what I'm saying? They have been picking it up a little bit. You know what I mean? They had won 4 of their last 6 games, and now they've won, they've won 3 of their last 4 now. So they lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants. Before that, they took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, lost 2 out of 3 from the Rays. Braves, they took 2 in a row, but just smashing up on the Marlins, who hadn't lost a series since the All-Star break. Look, they split with the Mets. They took the series from the Orioles. They took the series from the Brewers. They split with the Braves, right? So, not a bad start to the second half for Miami, without a doubt, but just running into a buzzsaw right now. And Stephenson, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, 2 for 4 for Candelerio, and Marte, 2 for 5 with 2 runs. But it was all De La Cruz. Again, I'm going to tell you, in 2 games, Elly De La Cruz, in 2 games, okay? 2 games, 8 for 10, 2 homers, 4 doubles, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored, and a stolen bases, league-leading 58th. He has single-handedly blasted the Marlins in this series. Single-handedly. In each game, just him alone, with just his RBIs, would have tied the Marlins tonight and beaten them last night. You know what I'm saying? Or actually, no, he would have tied them both nights just with his RBIs. 3 last night, 2 tonight. And then you take the runs scored. 3 last night, 2 tonight. And he's beating up on the Marlins all by himself. And that's what a great player can do when a great player gets hot. When a great player like him gets hot like that, they just go and they just start crushing everyone. And when you look at the standings for the Cincinnati Reds, they dipped a lot and fell a lot after the last time they played the Marlins. And now here they are, still way down there, languishing. 8.5 out, but Pirates at 6.5, Cardinals 58 and 56, and then the Brewers still holding on. First place, Dodgers, Phillies, things starting to settle a little bit more as those teams had been struggling, but the other ones behind them weren't able to put together the hot streaks when they needed to. The Orioles and the Yankees still neck and neck, though, and the Guardians right there with them. That American League 3-team race, Yankees 67 and 46, a half game ahead of the O's. They got postponed tonight against the Angels. The Orioles 67 and 47, a half game out. Guardians 67 and 45, a half game above the Yanks for the best record in the American League. The Phillies and the Dodgers fighting for the best record in the NL. Brewers right behind them, but the Phillies 66 and 46, and they are percentage points ahead of the Dodgers, who are 66 and 47, a half game ahead of them in the National League. What a race it's going to be down the stretch between the Phillies and the Dodgers for the pennant in the NL. Are you kidding me? No one's catching them. I thought maybe the Braves might, but they can't hit. Phillies, Dodgers in a race for the pennant in the NL, and then in the American League, Yankees, Orioles, Indians. It's going to be a great couple of months. Locked On MLB with Sully is going to be off the chain. You everydayers know this to make it your second show every single day. You're watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. De La crushed. Elly De La Cruz again, 8 for 10, 2 homers, 4 doubles, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored, and a stolen base. In this series so far, single-handedly whipping up on your Miami Marlins. The Reds are 4-1 against the Marlins in 2024. What can the Marlins do to reverse the tides? 2 games left in the series. They can still split it. What's got to happen? Let you know on the other side. Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. All right, you see the overlay, and you know what that means. It means FanDuel. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs are winding down, we get fewer games, and the sports aren't sportsing like I want them to. Even with the summer games going on, they're wrapping up soon. Football coming up, preseason starting. But FanDuel always lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel.com and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Again, thank you for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST a big part of your day. Every day we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. You just heard all about them. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Wrapping it up on your Tuesday. The Marlins lose to the Reds again, 8-2. Looking ahead to tomorrow's game in just a minute. But first things first, Grease, finish up this one. I know, the play on words. We love it, right? But Elly De La Cruz is on a historic pace right now, and I'm just waiting to see if it's there it is. It just popped up, the recap from this game. Yeah, there you go. Took a little longer, but here it is. De La Cruz again batters Miami. There you go. He again batters the Marlins. 4 for 5, 2 doubles, 2 homers and 2 doubles last night. Singled in the first, doubled and scored in the third. Bases loaded double in the fourth that scored 2. 58th steal. Scored after stealing that. A wild throw from Meyer, who goes to 2-2. Just unbelievable. Just distracting defenders all over the field. And he just says he's having fun out there. You know, he's dominated the first couple of games of the series. And you think about this, he's only 22 years old. He doesn't try to do too much. He stays within himself. Man, this dude is unbelievable. I'm excited to see where his career takes him. Not many players to compare him to. Ricky Henderson, Kenny Lofton. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Between the two, maybe somewhere. Maybe? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Between Ricky Can't Run Without Ricky Cleats and Kenny Lofton, the former University of Arizona starting point guard who played with Steve Kerr and Sean Elliott in the 1988 Final Four season. Steve Kerr has won everywhere. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But 8-2 the final again today as the Reds do it again to the Marlins. And tomorrow we're looking ahead to that game here. It's amazing the Reds don't have a better record. Here we go. Marlins, and we'll pull up the schedule here. Schedule. Okay, here we go. All right, Marlins and the Reds tomorrow. It's Bellozo, Valente Bellozo, and Abbott at 6:40 p.m. First pitch, as these first couple games have been. Friday, I believe, is an early one. Abbott's 9-8 with a 3.41. Bellozo 0-1 with a 4.20. The Reds are -160. The Marlins -120. The total is is 8.5. Excuse me, and over is -110. Under is -110 as well. The Reds are a 59.6% favorite in this game. De La Cruz has the average all the way up to 268, 20 home runs, and with no Spencer Steer in the lineup. And Spencer Steer. Let's see if it says anything about him. The injury list. Fortes, who left Monday's game with quadriceps tightness for the Marlins. He jogged before the game today. Jesus Luzardo, he will not throw for another 6 weeks. That just happened today, putting his return this season in doubt. And, man, he left with some back stuff. And then, that's tough. So that's bad news for the Marlins. It's been nothing but. It's been nothing but, man. And one more thing about the Reds. Edwards double extended his on-base streak to 23 games, tying Alec Bohm for the longest active streak in the majors. And, of course, that would be Xavier Edwards for the Miami Marlins, having himself a dope season. And he probably not going to qualify for anything like a batting title, but he's like, what is he, like 385 right now? Xavier Edwards, where's he at? Where's Xavier Edwards? He is... Where is he? Yeah, he's at 387 on an undercover baseball. I crack myself up sometimes. I really do. But you know what? When you think about the rest of this series, you still have 2 more games. The same thing just happened in Atlanta. Did it not? Did it not? The same thing just literally happened in Atlanta with Miami. They're 30 games under. We know that, 42 and 72. But we just saw this in Atlanta. They lost the first 2, albeit 4-2 and 5-3. But they came back and won the next 2, 4-3 and 7-zip. You got Bellozo coming up. And I'm not saying that's going to really help you all that much. You know, especially when Munoz and Meyer had been pitching well and they got ripped. And then you got Cabrera opening up against the Padres. This could get really ugly. The Reds are on fire. They could easily sweep this. And then you got San Diego. I mean, that is bang, bang, bang in a row with Perez and Waldron and Cease. But you know what? You got that lineup now with Arise. You got Tanner Scott. That bullpen's a 5-inning game every time out for the San Diego Padres. They're just that good. All right, Fish fans, that's all there is for today. There is no more. Your Marlins lose to the Reds again of Cincinnati, 8-2, the final. First 2 games of the series. They're 30 games under 500 on the season. Valente Bellozo going to pitch tomorrow. Valente Bellozo, against Abbott for the Reds. First pitch at 6:40. We'll be here right after the game with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Until then, Fish fans, keep your game tight and your mind right. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at @JimGrease_ on social media. Thanking you for being here and reminding you always to keep your game tight and your mind right. I'm out.